In this video, we're going to go over the next RTC type, which is a gated type. If I click over to one of my banks and then filter by RTC type, I can then choose gated. And then let me close that because it doesn't start until banks 9 and 10. You can see them all here. By the way, if you want to know where these are in the Kronos itself, since the Kronos doesn't separate the GEs by banks, it just has like 1 through 2000 something. What you do is you'd look at the bank and see that this is numbers 1152 to 1279. And then let's say that I wanted this full vox pad 2. I would just take 1152 and then add 110. And that's 1262. So if you were to look in the Kronos and look at the GEs, you would see that GE number 1262 is full vox pad 2. So anyway, I actually already selected it for module 6, and you can see here, full vox pad 2. And then I am just going to close this, and I want to show you that in Cubase, I actually changed the chord progression slightly. It now loops over 6 bars, and it goes from E major to A major. And the reason that we have to stick in the key of E major is because remember this, was it this Tubular Bells one? Yeah, this Tubular Bells one is functioning off of drum maps, which are playing in E major, which are playing in the key of E major. Anyway, let's solo this, and then I can just play Cubase to listen to that. But first, I need to choose a sound in the Kronos. And for this sound, I decided to go with a, I tried to choose sounds that are based off of what the GE is named. So this one was called full vox pad 2. So I went into my categories and I chose vocal airy, and then I clicked on the vocal subcategory and I chose exit music tape choir, which is IB071. And then let's hit play in Cubase to start playing it. And let's explore it. And let's choose module 6, which we already did, and let's actually rename it. We'll just choose vocal. Let's see. It's not really voice Oz, but let's choose that anyway. Actually, I want to try something. I'm going to go to my zones, and I'm going to hit timbre through, so the chords actually go through. And I'm going to have them go in when it's on the input. Oh, let's try going to the output. That's weird. For some reason, it's not letting it through. Let's just simply turn Karma off. And then I'll have off go through. There we go. So you can hear that it's actually the wrong sound. We go to user 16. I see, it did choose the wrong sound. That's weird. So vocal exit music tape choir. There it is. Now I'll write the Kronos just to make sure that I have it in there. I'll take this off. Turn this on. And now in our GE setup, this voice Oz makes a lot more sense. Okay. So let's check out their rhythm and swing. I don't think I like that. And then of course, this is kind of review at this point, but that's affecting our swing percent here. Let's see if I turn that up. That it changes in the GE. Rhythm complexity. So this will probably change the template. Let's check. Aha, it's changing our curve for our ties. Which is, of course, tying 2 notes together, just like a standard sequencer ties. Let's go all the way up. And let's check what it sounds like all the way down. And let's just go halfway. That means it's a 50-50% chance of Oh wait, actually, since it's random, even if it's all the way up, that'll still be a 50-50% chance since it's a random tie. If it was an absolute tie, then it would be a 100% chance if this was all the way down. And let's check our duration control, which is going to be here, which is going to affect the length of the notes. Let's see what's changing. Yeah, so it's pattern percent, and so it's based off of the notes that are based in this pattern. So if we change this value, then it's changing the length of the notes as they're designated in this pattern. See, the effect is very similar to just a regular gate, or it sounds like we're adjusting the note length. Check our velocity accents. Go down to velocity. Oh, this is interesting. So remember, this one is going to change our scale. So when we get up to like 200% or beyond, it's basically doubling how far down the velocity is happening. I like that. Rhythm pattern. That changes the template. And just like before, the higher we get up the slider, the more it moves down, because it's just functioning off of the regular rhythm template that we're used to. Let's see. Where can I see the templates? So the template is here, and then I can choose it. But since this GE is a preset, I don't actually want to mess with it. If it was a custom GE, then I wouldn't have to be afraid of messing with it. The reason you don't really want to mess with it is because if other programs or combis are using this GE and you change the GE and then save it, it'll actually save for all of the other programs that use it. So you might want to kind of leave them alone. In this case, though, I always make sure that all of the examples that I chose were GEs that aren't used by any other programs. But nonetheless, it's just, I guess, a good habit to not mess with them. Anyway, now that we changed this rhythm pattern to something really long, let's actually go back and mess with our random ties. It's actually so long that it's 1 bar, so let's change it. And go all the way up. Kind of like the way that sounds with the velocity going down. Starts off loud and then gets quieter. Let's kind of hear what that sounds like with some of the other things, like our synth. So you can already kind of hear that we're going to need to turn down that choir. So that's timbre 11. And here's 11 on my controls. I just turned it down to about 85. Actually 81. And let's check it out with our bells as well. Then of course we have our bend length, which is going to be just like what we're used to. Bend is already on. So let's mess with bend length. This program might not actually have bend programmed into it, but let's just check it out. So that would be in our bend category. bend start percentage, let's put that all the way at the beginning. Yeah, it sounds like this this sound doesn't actually have bend control. We could try to switch the sound and see if the next one has bend control. And we don't really have to worry about like switching the sound and messing anything up, since we're just changing the GE. We're just changing the MIDI that's going to that sound. And I'm gonna click. Sounds like that piano sound wouldn't have, because pianos don't have pitch bend programmed in. Unless they do, let's actually... So I can't actually check with my control stick, since this isn't actually getting MIDI from the Kronos. So, oh well, we're just gonna have to conclude that this program just simply doesn't have bend built in. So, bend does nothing in this case, which means bend direction won't do anything. Or bend alternation. Oh, I wonder what that is. That sounds really cool. Let's check it and see what's... So you can see it's this alternation, it's going from off to alternating. It's probably just a pitch up and down, but unfortunately we can't check it in this case. So we can just put all those all the way down. And then effects control on off. That might be in our CCs. And it sounds like it's affecting the filter. You can see CC74, low pass filter cutoff. It looks like it's using CCA for phase 1 and then CCB, which again is our cutoff for phase 2. So the first one should be actually panning left and right, which it is. I can see that that's happening on the Kronos. But the second one is just cutting off of the sound. So let's check this effects control pattern. There we go. That's interesting. You can see these long rows here. It'll choose randomly a value anywhere in there. And this is for panning. And then if I click over to phase 2, I believe this is for a cutoff. I think I liked it. Then of course, if we change our rhythm complexity, or would it be our rhythm pattern, then we can speed it up and actually get kind of more of an effect. Back to our CCs. Mess with this pattern a little bit more. Ah. Pull that out. Choose one of these again. Choose it to happen a little bit faster. Go back to the rhythm group. And actually speed up our rhythm pattern even more. So we're getting kind of like a sample and hold filtering effect at this point. Let's do that with our bells. let's actually turn up the velocity accents so we're not losing quite as much volume. Turn it all the way up, which actually puts our scale at 0, which means that this actually has no effect. I do like it having just a little bit of effect. And I'm going to go back to rhythm and just mess with rhythm complexity a little bit more. Let me run the bells. And I'm going to try turning up this timbre just slightly. Let's just listen to all of them. It's alright. You can see all of the data that we're generating here in the data display. It's pretty impressive. Cool. So that's running 6 modules of Karma, and we actually still have 4 more in the Kronos itself. But unfortunately, I can't keep going and adding timbres because I can't really show you what Karma is doing in the Kronos. I actually could do a trick where I have the where I have 2 different programs or performances affect the same combi, not at the same time. I could just choose between them, and then I guess I could actually then dump the data into the Kronos, and then I could continue on with this with this same program, but maybe we'll try that next time. We'll try that for our next performance. So I'm not particularly in love with what we created here, but it's still nifty, and I think it was a good exercise. So I'm gonna go ahead and store this, save it in my file, then save it on the Kronos. Well, thank you for this one, and next time we'll keep going through the RTC models and start a whole new track. Thank you.